Good afternoon, everybody. I am Paula Ludwig with the Atlantic Institute. We believe in a peaceful world, and one of the ways we can do that is by having peaceful conversations about other cultures and things. And we are excited to be doing this class today. The Atlantic Institute is looking for more people. If you're interested in possibly working with us, you can send me a private chat. But I am going to show you a short video about the Atlantic Institute. Share screen. That's not it. That's it. I'm going to share sound. Dun, dun.
The Atlantic Institute is a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting harmonious coexistence between peoples of various cultures, faiths, and backgrounds. We seek this goal through peaceful dialogue, education initiatives, and community organization. Our dialogue events bring together experts, community and faith leaders, and knowledge seekers to address social issues that affect us all. We feel dialogue is the most important element in peaceful coexistence, so we try and maintain several panel discussions, TED Talk events, and book clubs throughout the year. These events touch on social issues, race relations, and cultural understanding and are a mainstay of our programming. The Atlantic Institute's education events are extremely important to our mission of understanding. We want to promote socially forward critical thinking to students of all ages. To that end, we have developed programs that seek to grow the creative spirit of students and help them think about their communities and the world around them. Our Future Leaders of Dialogue event brings together nominated elite students to learn from each other as well as political and business leaders. Our art and essay contest gives students a theme about important societal issues and allows them to create wonderful works of art and writing while steering their minds towards improving their world. We are always seeking ways to educate youths and adults in order to make a peaceful world for all of us. Our community events are designed to transform neighbors into friends and groups of people into a community. By associating with other nonprofits or by our own initiative, we are always trying to discover new avenues to improve our neighborhoods, places of worship, and community centers. We host cooking demonstrations of food from other cultures, work with various nonprofits to help elevate the work of others, and try to find a way to make the lives of those who are disenfranchised or marginalized better. Building a more peaceful world starts in our backyards, so we are dedicated to improving our communities and associations. The Atlantic Institute is always seeking like-minded volunteers and collaborators. If you would like to learn more, find volunteer opportunities, or just want to chat with our staff, please visit our website at www.atlanticinstitutesc.org or follow us on Facebook. We will never run out of fun, educational, peaceful events, so come join us to help make this world a better place full of understanding and unity.
Oh my God, did you get dentures? Your teeth
never stops. I can never get to stop before it starts another video. I don't know why. All right, I am now going to turn this over to our instructor, Elaine, and I want to thank her for doing this with us. This is a little bit of a different one than we normally do. We normally do more hands-on stuff, but hey, I am wanting to learn how to do this myself because everything has gone digital now. So for pictures and all of that. So Elaine, I am going to spotlight you and here we go.
Oh, okay. I'm going to get a picture real quick
Oh,
of,
yes.
of the screen. Okay, the people that are joining us today. Thank you. Of course, I'm going to get a picture. Okay. All right. So thank you. Thank you, Paula and Atlantic Institute, so much for having me. I'm delighted to be here today. So I am Eileen Vieira, and I am going to share my screen, and I'm going to do a tiny PowerPoint in the beginning, and then I'm going to show you how to do digitally designed scrapbooking, and I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm Eileen Vieira, and for 40 years I've been doing creating my traditional scrapbooks, and I've made 60 books, and so I'm going to show you about that. And okay, so today is Speedy Scrapbooking using the CM Digital Designer. So I'll tell you what all of this means. I'm the founder of a company called Memory Books by Eileen. I founded that 5 years ago, where I make photo books and scrapbooks for other people across the United States. I'm also a Creative Memories independent consultant and a forever independent consultant. I'll tell you a little bit more about that and what that means. But okay, so what I have to move this out of the way, and then I have to begin from the beginning of the slideshow. Okay, there's a lot going on. Here we go. So then I need to go to the next page. Here we go. The agenda for today. So I'm going to tell you who I am, who is Eileen, and then I'm going to give you a brief history of scrapbooking in the United States. And then I'm going to tell you what digitally designed scrapbooking is. And then I'm going to show you how to make one. So we're going to do all that in the next 50 minutes. So hold on. All right, so who is Eileen? I'm Eileen Vieira, and I have been a Creative Memories advisor for over 20 years, but I've been a personal scrapbooker since the 80s, so for a long time. And so here's the picture of my collection of scrapbooks that I have. Then I have also, I'll tell you some more. This is a picture of an old-fashioned scrapbook, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that with the history. And then this is an example of a digitally designed scrapbook where the pictures are printed directly on the page along with the decorations. And I'm going to show you how to make one on your computer and on the internet. So that's what we're going to do today. All right. So in my introduction, so I explained about my personal experience and my professional experience in this industry. Traditional and digital products are the two types of scrapbooking products that are around right now. So traditional products are paper and stickers and tools that you use to, like this picture and this page where I've cut and pasted into this book. Okay, that's traditional scrapbooking. And then digital products are software programs or websites that you can use where you're using digital artwork and digital photos to put books together. And so this book down here is an example of a photo book. It's a hard covered bound book where the picture, you can't add any pages. Okay, so I offer those products to my clients, and then I also offer workshops and classes for DIYers. So this picture up here shows my studio before I remodeled it, and people that come with their supplies and their photographs. Most of my clients do traditional scrapbooking, actually, where they tape the pictures into the books. So I provide time and space for people to scrapbook and do this together, kind of like an old-fashioned quilting bee, where people get together and craft together. I also take people on retreat twice a year. So I sell products. I offer events to help people use those products and get their projects completed. And then I have done for you scrapbooking services. I call it memory book. I call it memory books because I want to incorporate scrapbooks where the pages can move around and come in and out, and photo books where they're bound in the books, and through my website, memorybooksbyeileen.com. And then today we're going to focus on digitally designed books, which are a hybrid of these two. It's a newer invention since 2019, where you have pictures printed on the page. I'll show you some examples where pictures are printed directly on the page, but we can also add pocket pages, and we could also add cut and paste on different pages too. So it's a blend of the two, which I think is the best of both worlds. Okay, so that's digital pages printed all together on one page, and traditional. So, all right. I am going to go to the next page now here. All right, so we're going to talk about a brief history of scrapbooking. A brief history of scrapbooking. So basically, modern scrapbooking is the merging of the long history of storytelling along with the history of printed images. And after the printing press was invented, Bibles became one of the first types of, let's see, no, we're going to go back. But, whoop, sorry. All right, here we go. One, and we're going to start from the beginning. Sorry about that. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And 4. So Bibles were printed, and a lot of times they had empty pages in the beginning, and people would write their family histories in there. They would write births and marriages and deaths. And then gradually they started adding newspaper clippings and documents and birth and death announcements. And these types of scraps ended up in Bibles. And then during the 1800s, printing technology took off, and like cards were printed and papers were printed, and it became more developed. And then people began filling their blank books with clippings and cards and memorabilia instead of what they used to do, which was just writing, journaling, and then drawing artwork. So these books were literally books of scraps. And then with the invention of photography in the 1800s, families began keeping albums full of portraits of family members. Remember those portraits you see where everybody's like really still and they're not much facial expression? That was early photography, when it took a long time. People had to sit still for a long time for those pictures to develop. But then gradually that technology changed too, and then photography developed so that pictures were available, and snapshots replaced portraits with the new technology. And then in the early 1900s, the casual photo albums replaced and scrapbooks were born. So casual photo albums replaced those staunch portrait albums that people would make. And then it got a little bit more casual as technology increased or improved. And then in the 1970s, so we're going to leap in time because we don't want to spend too much time talking about history, but in the 1970s, there were these things called magnetic albums. I don't know if you had ever seen them. They weren't really magnetic. There was no magnets involved, but there was a piece of plastic, and you would open up, pull it open, and then there was a sticky surface that people would put photos down on, and then they'd put the plastic cover back over and then go to the next page. And it was kind of like a binder system. Well, we learned in the 80s that was really damaging to photos because there were all kinds of acids that were involved in the making of those kinds of pages, which caused pages to yellow and pictures to yellow. So we learned in the 70s, at the end of the 70s, that was not a good way to preserve photos. So in the 80s, we learned about archival safe materials and the importance of using that acid-free products to put pictures on to keep our pictures nicer longer. And then we also learned about the importance of plastic covers, which we call page protectors. So that keeps oil from hands off of pictures, and it protects spillage, and it protects pictures while they're in the books. So we learned that in the 80s. And then also in the 80s, the company that I became affiliated with 20 years ago, Creative Memories, was born in the 80s, and they became the biggest home-based retailer of photo-safe products. And Creative Memories taught people how to scrapbook with lots of advisors everywhere. And we're still around, and we help people all the time. And I've been doing that for 20 years. But in the late 1990s and the 2000s, scrapbooks became a 12 by 12 size. Before, they were more like 8.5 by 11 size. Well, they became 12 by 12 size to better fit 4 by 6 photos. And then digital cameras came on the market. I mean, some of us are old enough to remember the times before digital cameras, but when digital cameras came on the market, we also had scrapbooking stores, magazines, and companies, and everybody was spreading the rumor the word about this booming hobby. But so digital cameras gave us the ability to take more and more pictures, and actually see the pictures on the cameras. And then what was happening, scrapbooking took off in the 80s, big time, and people began to gather at crops. We call them crops, and that's where people, I also call them workshops, where people get together, they share supplies, they share techniques, and then that's what is akin to the quilting bees of the 1900s, of the 18th century, where women would get together, or people would get together and make stuff together, sometimes, and help each other out while we're all working on our separate projects. But we'd come together and help each other. Okay, and then in the 2010s, we got the smartphones with cameras. So now you didn't have to remember to bring your camera with you. It was in your pocket with your phone all the time. And so because of that, we have even more pictures than ever before. So now our industry is looking for ways to find, to make preserving family photos and memories quicker and easier, because a lot of times people get overwhelmed with all their images, either the physical images or the digital images or both. So my goal is to teach people how to do this quickly and easily so they don't get overwhelmed. So anyway, scrapbooking has also in the 2010s, scrapbooking software and websites were developed and invented so that people could now drag and drop their pictures to produce their own photo books. Much like a coffee table book, that's kind of like this one that I have here. Or recipe book. I just finished a recipe book for my family. So this is a photo book because it's bound and you can't move the pictures around or the pages around. Once they're in, they're in. And then in 2019, Creative Memories developed its digital designer to make scrapbooking even easier by taking the drag and drop of the photo book digital and combining it with the cut and paste of traditional scrapbooking to create, in my opinion, like I said before, the best of both worlds, hybrid scrapbooking. I'm just going to give you a quick peek at one of my hybrid scrapbooks. So what the key is with these, what I'm going to teach you more about these digital scrapbooks is that these are 2D pictures. We're going to put them on pages in the computer and decorate them on the computer. And then we press a button and they get printed up at Creative Memories, and then Creative Memories sends you the pages and then you stick them in a book. So you do all of your creating ahead of time for the pictures and the pages, which makes it super fast. Then the other part that's fun that I was telling you about, you can add pages where you can add your memorabilia. So this is the cut and paste part. This is the drag and drop part over here, which makes it quick and easy. And then if you still want to be creative with cut and paste, you can do that if you want to. You don't have to, but you can. So this is the digitally designed scrapbooking I'm going to show you about. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to go one more page here. How am I doing on time? One more page. So I'm going to tell you a quick story about Elaine. Elaine is a client of mine, and she called me one day and she said, I've been making books at Shutterfly, Eileen, but and that's a website where you can go to make books. She goes, but I'm so frustrated because I don't have anybody to ask questions of if I don't know what, if I have questions about how to do my books or whatever. And so she said, I have 20,000 pictures in my OneDrive and I have 10 years of photos and I want to make books. What should I do? What's the best way, the quickest and easiest way? And I said, Elaine, I'm going to show you digitally designed scrapbooks. So she had in 5 weeks, she made these 3 albums, which encompassed 3 years of her 10 years worth of scrapbooking of photos that she had. So she's taken a little break and now she's traveling now that the world's open again. But in 5 weeks, she made 3 books. So and she had never done it before. So super simple. I'm so excited to teach you guys how to do that. Okay, so we're going to come back to this page later. So now I'm gonna minimize this. And now we are going to my website. So this is my website, Memory Books by Eileen. Did you go? No, you didn't go. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second, and then I'm going to share again. So on my website at memorybooksbyeileen.com, if you go to this tab that says shop, this is where don't get confused. Digital photo books, those are the bound ones. That's not what we're doing today. We're not doing these. We are doing this traditional scrapbook. It says traditional scrapbook, but remember, we're doing the hybrid. So we go to traditional scrapbook. So now we are going to, the nice thing about this, to do these kind of scrapbooks too, is that there's no software needed. It's all up in the clouds. You don't have to buy any software. You don't have to buy any artwork. You go to the cloud. You can go to Creative Memories. If you already know a Creative Memories person, use them. But if you don't, use me, go through me. So if you click on my website, go to shop, go to traditional, we are going to get started on making some books. All right, then from here, we are going to, I am going to tell you, I have all these notes for the steps that I'm going to do. And I have notes, and then I have notes about what all of these little icons mean that I'm going to teach you about. So I am going to put those things in the chat right now. So if you want to look at them and follow along, or print them at the end, so you don't have to take notes, and don't worry about that. So I'm going to minimize this for a second, and I'm going to go to, and you can't see this part. I'm going to copy and paste, and then I'm going to come back to I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Thank you for your patience. And then I'm going to go to the chat, and I'm going to copy and paste so this is a link to the Google Drive, and it's going to have the steps that we're going to go through right now, and it's going to have tips it's going to tell you what all these icons mean that I'm about to just demonstrate for you. Okay, thank you. All right, so we're going to share screen again, and then we're going to go back to, we're going to go back to my website. Here we go. So we went to my website, Memory Books by Eileen, and then into shop. Digital takes you to my Creative Memories link website. And then from here, we go into shop, and we go into digital, shop, digital. And so on this website are traditional products. There's paper and pages and stickers and embellishments and tape and tools, all that kind of stuff. But there's also this digital aspect that I'm teaching you today, the digitally designed. Okay, so we go shop and digital to get started. Now, we need to choose a custom product. And today, what we are going to do, here, I'm going to make this a little smaller so I can see where I'm doing. Today, we're going to do the custom album plus refill pages, because if you do that, it will, we can design an album cover and the pages that go in it. The only things that aren't included are the page protectors, which you can order separately. So if we click on, I have permission to use the pictures I'm going to put in here, and then I hit customize. Click customize. It's going to take us. So what it wants to do now is it says, okay, you need to log in. You need to create an account, and it's a free account. There's no charge to have this account. But the purpose of this account is to give Creative Memories a place to store your project. So while you're working on it, because you don't have to finish it in one fell swoop. You have 2 years to finish it and print it, and then after that, it goes away. So you do need to, you can't keep it there forever. It's not designed to be there forever. So you have to create an account so it has a place to store it for you. So once you create an account and then hit customize, now you have to name your account. So well, if you're not logged into your Creative Memories account, you will be prompted to log in and create an account. So I have an account. I just logged in. Okay, now we have to give it a product name. And so we should be descriptive so it makes sense to us later. And then we click continue. So this is going to be our Atlantic Institute book. Okay, so I got to give it a name and then I hit continue. So I make like 20 to 30 books a year for my clients, but in order to stay on top of my scrapbooking, I make my books digitally designed because they're quick and easy. And I can just take my pictures from my photo library and drop them in. So I have a quick story to tell while I'm picking something out here. In December, I got stuck in California when all those flights got canceled. Do you guys remember that? Some of you who live in the United States, all of our flights got canceled, and we had to rent a car and drive between California to Washington to come home, and that's about 1,000 miles. And I had my iPad in the back of my car, so my husband and my son were driving this 1,000 miles home, 12-hour drive. And I got on my iPad in the digital designer and I moved pictures right from my photo library on my iPad right onto pages. And I sorted all my pages for my album for 2022 in the car as we were driving. So this is the part I'm going to show you right now. And then when I got home, I worked on the rest of it on my computer. But basically, I was digital scrapbooking in my car while we were driving home. So, I mean, I just think this is fabulous because I didn't waste any time. And I'm a busy person, so I can't afford to waste too much time. Okay. So we got in, we continued, and I was talking, but what I did was I picked a theme while I was telling you this other story. So I picked a theme for my book, and then, so you can choose your themes that you want to use. Now, this is the important part of this process. And if I want to upload pictures and have them automatically put in a book, I can do that by uploading my photos right now.
Eileen, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Can you preview the theme before you
yes, you sure can. You sure can. And let's see what I kind of want to do. Okay, let's see. Yes, absolutely. And here, I'm sorry. Let me go back and let's do it again. So I'll show you. Okay, so back to the home page. Okay. I will show you. Yes, that's a great question. I'm sorry, I'm talking a mile a minute. So we went back to my homepage. We're going to go back to shop and back to digital. Yes, absolutely. Before you get into the digital designer, you can do that. So, and you do that by going down here. You go into view details and then you scroll down here. And it says down here to view pre-designed page themes, click here. So if we click there, we can scroll through and it gives us the themes. And it tells us when they expire because once you create your project and save it, your theme will not expire except for until 2 years. But if you don't pick a theme, then the themes come and go because this is refreshed all the time. So you want to pick the theme that you like, and then when you want to save it in the designer, and then it'll be saved for you for 2 years. So as we're scrolling, we're seeing these. Here's a summer theme, kind of more water and more. And you scroll through here and you click, and you can see what the different pages look like. Now you're able to change all these pages and move them around, and you still have a lot of other functionality, but so you can scroll through here. Does this answer your question, Paula?
Yes.
Okay, yes. So you can go, all right, maybe you have a tropical book you want to use. You can look through here and go, oh, I like these colors. I like this theme. Or maybe it's a winter, but they can be interchangeable. It's not like buying a physical book where the pages that are in it, because you can move things around, and I'll show you that too in a few seconds. Okay, here's a harvest theme and a school theme. and another summer theme. So, and a woodsy kind of theme. So the one I picked was, it was Our Moments. It's kind of more like a heritage kind of book, like a family history kind of book is the one that I picked before. Okay. So now I got a lot going on here. All right. So I'm going to skip this one and I'm going to go back here. You know where I need to go is all right, I'm going to go back. I need to get into my digital designer. Okay. So we're not in the digital designer here. We're outside of it looking in to see what we could do. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my it's like my account, and then where my custom products are, and then that's where all of my projects that I've saved are, and you can see them here. And some of them are my books, some of them are books for my clients, because more and more of my clients who want scrapbooks, when I show them the digital designer, and since most of our pictures are digital, our current pictures, right, are digital, I tend to do these kind of books for people. But every once in a while, I have stuff that I cut and paste in for clients. Okay, so here's that book that I saved before, that when I first started. So I'm in my account, and then I go over here to edit. And now the nice thing is this program saves your work automatically. And if you forget to save it, it'll remind you that would you like to recover what you did because you forgot to save stuff when you were here last time. Okay, so this is Our Moments that I saved, but I can't. So here's what the project looks like, or here's what the book looks like, right? But so it has layouts for me, and they have layouts where I can just drag and drop my pictures, and I can change all of this, which is really nice. Okay. So, but before I do any of this, we haven't put any pictures in this designer yet. So that's what we have to do next. Now we could have added them earlier, but if we added them earlier, it would have automatically put them in for me. And you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But then sometimes I don't like where they put them, so I have to move things around. So for me, it's just easier if I set up the book first, and then I go in and load pictures, and then I drag and drop them where I want them. Does that make sense? Paula, does that make sense, what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm in the designer. Yes. Now I'm inside the designer. I have this project set up, and now I have to go over here to this photo icon on the left, and I have to upload photos here. So I click on upload photos, and then now it says, where do you want to go and do this, Eileen? So I put a few pictures on my PC, on my desktop, so that I could load them into the designer. Now, if I was on my iPad in the same website, Creative Memories website, I could just go right into my camera roll and drag and drop pictures. So that is very convenient. And did you see before too, you can also take pictures off of Facebook. You can also take pictures off of Facebook to put in a digitally designed book. I don't post a ton of pictures to Facebook, so I don't, I use them for my PC, but you can do that. You can if you have a bunch of pictures on Facebook, you can go through your Facebook account and drag and put pictures in this designer. So then what I'm gonna do, this is a trip I took recently. So I touch the first one, I hold down the shift key, I touch the last one, and then I click open. And then it wants to know, does it want me to automatically put these in, the designer to put them in for me? And I say, no, I want to place them manually. So that is why I choose place manually. And then you can tell what's going on over here. It's telling me that the pictures are being uploaded into this designer, so I can use them. And what I tend to do is to make it less overwhelming, I put a little bit of pictures at a time. And I recommend that if you want to make it less overwhelming. And then you're not scrolling around as much. So this is day one of the travel that my husband and I did. Okay, so that's the photo. And what I can do now is I see how the line is blue. I'm clicked on this page. Now, this page has a layout of 2 pictures on it and they're horizontal, which actually works out pretty well because I'm going to put these 2 pictures on this page. But if I decide I want to do 3 pictures, I can change it. So the blue box says I'm on this page, then I can come over here to the layout icon, click on it and say, show me the layouts for 3 pictures. And so I think I'll choose this one. So I chose it. And then if I go back to photos, the photo icon over here and press it, now I can drag and drop my pictures onto the boxes. Do you see that? Okay, so now this picture didn't work out very well because of you can't see my husband, but if I click on the box, see now the blue box shows me what I'm working with, and then I could move it around if I want to. You see within the box, or if that still doesn't work, I have an icon down here called transform. And if I click on that box and then I pull it down like this, I can see my whole picture. So that part's not hard. So I'll explain to you what these things mean too. So like this first one says pan or zoom. So if I click on this box, this icon, I can zoom in or zoom out and move it around in the box if I want to. So it gives me that ability to make something closer if I want to. So that's a really nice feature. Okay, all right. And let's say, okay, no, I don't want to do that. I can come over here and undo it. There we go. And if I don't like what I just, don't we love the undo button? The undo button is the best button ever, right? When we're working on something, we just come over here and undo. This takes us back. This takes us forward, back and forward. Okay. Okay. So I like these 2 pictures. So what I like to do too, all right, let's see, how much time do I have? 20 minutes. So let me just drop in a few more pictures from the designer, and then we can go and I'll show you what some of these other icons mean and what we can do with them. So I drop them, drag and drop, drag and drop. Okay, and then over here, drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. So this is the drag and drop part that you could do if you're making a photo book somewhere else, but this is the part that makes it easy, makes scrapbooking easy, right? Because you have your pictures in there, you don't have to cut and paste. They're right here on your side area, and you can see what you're working with. Okay, drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. Okay, now we're going to go back. I kind of like to drag and drop, like sort my pictures first, like I did all the way from California. And then I go back and play with them. And that's the fun part. Okay, so as we're flipping back through this book, now we can start doing some different things with our pictures. So let's see. Over here, I'm clicked on the blue box. See, right now I'm not clicked on the blue box. You want to be clicked on the blue box because then the designer knows what page you're working on, okay? And so let's say, all right, I want to add some text to this page. So I click on it and I click on add text box. And then over here, I have choices of 16 different fonts I can use for my book. So I have some choices, but I don't have all the choices in the universe. And for some of us, that's really nice not to have too many choices because that can be overwhelming too sometimes. Okay, so I'm gonna do, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna do Peralta. All right, I'm gonna do Peralta. And now the interesting thing here is I can change the color of my font my font here if I want to. But I'm going to keep it in black. And then I can change the size of my font here too, if I want to. So, and I can make it bold, italicized, or underlined. So I'm going to start with this and see how I like it. And now I am going to type up here, but the text is going to appear in this little box down here. And then I can move it up to this space right here. So I'm going to say, Italy 2023. Okay, and so now when I do that, then I can grab this box and move it up here, but oh my gosh, it is so small. I'll just pull it in like this, and I don't even have to highlight it. I can just come over here and start playing with different size fonts. Nope, still not big enough, 36. That looks a little better. I could probably even go bigger here if I want to. Okay, that looks pretty good. What do you think? Italy 2023. So now I've done some text. And then over here, I can decide if I want to left justify it, center justify it, or right justify it, right? So it's in the middle. Okay, and then, but I can change the color of it if I want. Now, this is a game changer over here in this whole book. If I come up here to text and then I apply format to all and click it, that means all of the text in this book on every page and every text box I create is going to be the same. The text is the same, the color is the same, the size is the same. Now I can customize it when I go, but instead of like having to reinvent the wheel on every page, it already does that for you. Okay. And then now we're gonna, so you saw the layout a little bit. Now we're gonna skip background too for right now. We're gonna go to border. So now if I click on this picture and I go to the border, and all right, it looks like I only have 4 choices, but I have a lot of choices. So I could do white backgrounds, I could do black backgrounds, and just like the fonts, I can come up here to the little paint bucket and I can choose any color that's on here for my fonts. So I have a lot of options, right? Not the whole universe of options, but quite a few different options. All right, and let's just be different. I'm gonna pick that one, and then I'm gonna pick this size, but now I'm gonna go back to that color that I liked. And now what I can do, same thing as so I can apply to the surface. And what that does is that creates mats or borders around the pictures on this page. But if I go back here and I go apply to all, it's going to create this same color border on every box, picture box on every page. So I don't have to reinvent the wheel on that either. So that's another thing that makes it super speedy. Okay, questions? Okay, all right. Now I'm going to go to the next page and see how my boxes are already the same color. And then maybe I go, I'm not sure. I'm not so thrilled about that color. So I'll go back here. I'll click on a box and I'll go, you know, I really think black neutral is nice and neutral and it will be better. So I change that box to black and then I do apply to all. And then it changes that color for the whole book. So now I'm going back to the next page. Okay, so what is this layout? I kind of showed you layout a little bit already where we can go. Now, let's say I don't like the way this is laid out. I can click on this page. I can go to layout. I have 3 pictures. Now I can do a page or a 2-page spread. Right now I'm just doing this page. And I've got 3 pictures. And now I can explore with different ones. Let's say I pick that one. So I can see, do I like that? Yeah, actually, I like that pretty good. This is really big, and then this is smaller. And no, if I don't like what I have on one page, I can go back over here to photo, and then I can click on the box and I can delete it. And then do you see over here, this is really a really nice feature. It shows you with these ones that you've already used these pictures. So you don't have to try to remember, did I use this picture already on another page? It tells you. And if you use it twice, it'll tell you that too. So that's nice. Okay, so I click, so all right, I like it, or well, no, I decided I was gonna take it out. So then I can come over here and I go, let's see, let's try this in this spot. And I like that better. And then I'll put this one in that spot. So the layout section is really nice because it makes it quick and easy, but you also have the ability to change the sizes like you saw before. Okay, now let's say, are there any questions so far? I'm kind of going fast because we have 10 minutes left. Any questions? Okay, then I'll keep moving. So let's say you don't like this background. Then the next box icon down here is backgrounds. So you can create your own color of a background by using these palettes if you want to. And by clicking on them, you can pick your own color page if you want to do that. So you're not stuck to what's in this album that we chose, right? Okay, so we can create our own page, or I can go back, and then I can also go back up here and go back again. And now there's a bunch of different, all those other themes that we saw in the book before when we first started. We can use pages from them, from those papers and pages for those themes, from those themes instead. Okay, if we really wanted to, we could click on something else. So here's the Our Moments theme. That's the theme that I'm using for this book. So I could pick a different page, pre-decorated page for this if I wanted. I could click, oops, I'm not clicked on this page. I got to click on the blue page, and then I click here, and then I change the page if I want to. Okay. Or let's say this one may be better. So I click here. It's really nice because you don't have to buy the paper and check to see if you like it or not. And then you only have one sheet of it. If you like this paper, you could use it for your whole book if you want to. It's super easy. And then if I click over here, I can change it to this style if I want to. So you see, I have a lot of options, but not too many to make your life crazy. I tend to like to stay in the same theme if I want to, unless I have a page that's Christmassy, then I can pick a theme that's Christmassy. Okay. All right. So here I'm changing the paper backgrounds by going into background, clicking on the square, and then picking the one that I like. And then once I like it and decide I want to go with it, I can go to another page. Okay, so we talked about text, we talked about layout, we talked about background, we talked about border. Now the fun thing is elements. So what I can do is click on my page, and I can play with the elements. So these are all the different themes, but then there's also some fun areas where you can pick words and you can drag them and drop them on the pages. And this is a fun word, fun. Now, the color doesn't work here because it blends into everything, but remember the little paint container, I can take it and I can change it if I want to. Okay, so this is elements. The other thing, the other elements, what I do is I go back to my theme, and this is the Our Moments theme. This is more heritage. We usually have a travel one. We're right in between travel. They just retired one, and I think we're going to get another new one pretty soon. Okay, so click on here, a love story. If I want to use that, I can use that. And I can move it around and put it someplace else on my page if I want to. Okay, so these are elements. Now, so I showed you how to use these things, these icons. Now I'm going to show you how to use these icons because these are fun. All right, so I did show you how to use the panoramic one. So this I can move in the box, and I can do the zooming. Remember, we did that one before. And then if I want to change the shape or move it around on the page, I click the next icon, transform. And all of this is in all of these descriptions are in the Google Doc I put in the chat. Okay, so you can print it out and be reminded about what icon does what. So I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller, I can move it around on the page if I want to with that transform icon. Then I can rotate. So if something's the wrong direction, I can click on it and rotate it if I want to. And then the other fun thing to do is, let's say I have this here and I want to make it big, and then I want to overlap it a little bit. So then if I clicked on this one and I click the front, it'll move it to the front. If I click back and back again, it moves it to the back. So you have the ability to move the image front and back on your page. Okay, excuse me. All right, here's something fun too. And it is the background. If I click on this background button, it makes the picture the background of on the page if I wanted to, or I can just make the whole picture the page, or the whole page the picture. So I'm going to go back again because I want to show you something. Okay, there we go. All right, let's say, all right, this is nice, but I really want to make this my whole page. So I can delete. So the last piece down here is the delete button, and I hit it again. Now I delete, it takes the picture out, and then if I delete again, it takes the whole box off the page. And then if I want to make this bigger, I can. Okay, this is the train station in Florence, I think is where I am. Okay, and then I can move this over. Now, if I go to this page and I go, I want to make that picture the whole page, this picture of Tony and I in the train station. So I click on this next page. Now I could stick it in this box if I wanted to, but if I click on the box and then do the background, it makes the whole picture, the whole page, the picture. And then you do have some ability to move it around. And that is sometimes a really dramatic way to display your favorite picture when you're making a digital book. Okay, so guess what? So now I've run out of pictures. If you look, oh, wait, I got this food picture I could put on a page, and actually it's not really that important, so I won't enter. But let's see what. So then, what the next thing I would do is I would go up to upload photos, and I'd go get some more photos to work with. I really think it's a good idea to put them in little batches and then work with them, so you're not overwhelmed and scrolling up and down looking for the picture that you want to work with. But if you want to put them all in there, go for it. And if you wish. All right, so now what I did is I clicked upload photos because I ran out of photos. I already placed those pictures on the page. So now I'm going to go to day 2, click on it, but I'm in the name of time, I'm just going to grab a handful of pictures here. So click on shift, hold down the shift key, go to the end, and it selects everything in between. Click open, click place manually. No, I guess I could have done it automatically to show you what it does, but it just starts putting them around into places for me. And then it gives me the update. That's nice when it gives me the update. All right. So do you see that? So it loaded some more pictures. Okay. And then I can continue. So what I do is I look at the page and I look at the pictures coming up and I look at, are they portrait or landscape? And I have portrait, 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 landscape, landscape. So let's say I want to do a page with a lot more pictures on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I'm going to hit layout and then I'm going to hit page and I'm going to hit 5 plus photos. Now it doesn't have 7. It goes from 5 to 9 to 14 to 16. So I could pick more. Or I can pick 5. And if I pick 5 and I go back to photos, then I can start putting them in. Okay, now they gave me this red symbol, which means that the resolution on this picture for this where it is not high enough to make it this big on this page. So I either have to make them smaller, or I have to get a higher resolution for my pictures. Okay, so here, if I move it and make it smaller, it should be okay. It doesn't look bad. Okay, I can go back and click on here. Yeah. Doesn't like those for some reason. Okay. How do you get a higher resolution? All right, that's a good question. So what I can do is, so I can go into my pictures. I can go, so one way to improve the resolution is to make them smaller, like I was telling you. The other way is to see see where you have them saved. Okay, so in my pictures, if I go into my pictures and I right click on a picture and I click on properties, it tells me the size. See, this is 293 kilobytes. So the best way to improve it, my resolution is to go to the original source of the picture, and because this picture I put up in the cloud and then I took it down from the cloud, and every time you move a picture around and save it somewhere, you lose some of the resolution. So if I go to my iPhone where I took this picture and then I bring it into this folder, I could improve the resolution. The only time it wouldn't work is if your original photo itself is super low resolution, you wouldn't be able to do that. And the only other way to do it is to make it smaller. And sometimes, yeah, that would be, hopefully that answers your question. So I think what happened on some of these pictures is, yeah, they're pretty low resolution. So I should have moved them in, instead of dropping them down from the cloud, I should have moved them over from my iPhone. So that's probably part of my problem, but okay. So if I close this, and in looking at this, it doesn't look bad from what, but I couldn't make it the background, that would be starts to be blurry, and that would be a problem. Okay, all right. So and then if I want to, I think we're almost done, but so we went over these functions, we went over these functions. So the last other functions are these right here. And one is back, one is forward, one is cut. So let's say I don't want that picture on there anymore. And the other is copy and paste. So if I want to copy and paste a picture, or I could come over here and hit the copy button, copy, and then I hit the paste button. And now I have that same size picture to work with. And that I do that sometimes when I want to make sure things are the same size. But there's also some nice functions on this program. Do you see? I don't know if you see these other lines, but when I move this around, this green line shows me the middle of the page, and the pink line shows me when a picture is lined up in the middle of another picture. So the green, so that is helpful. And then when I bring this in, do you see that red line? When I bring this in and out, this little red line, it shows when this picture is lined up with this picture. So if I take it in and then I go, well, wait a minute, I want to line it up with this, then that red line will show up for me. So it's really nice. This designer has some nice features to help you be able to line things up more precisely if you want, but it's not super duper sensitive in that, you know, it's creates a problem or overwhelms you. All right, is there anything else that you would want to see from here? What do you think, Paula?
I don't have any questions. Does anybody else have questions?
Okay, okay. I have so many pictures of ours. I know how to make some. Okay, guess what Aries getting for Christmas. Thank you. Okay, cool. All right. All right. I haven't done scrapbooking before. Okay, so that I didn't really, there really wasn't too many questions. So what I tend to do, my strategy is to bring the pictures in and sort them first. So the next thing I would do would be to come back into my uploads once I place pictures and grab some more and bring them in. So I like to go through and put the pictures on the pages first. You know, it's kind of like Henry Ford and your processing, right? So I do all my sorting first. And then once I've done my sorting and put the pictures on the pages I want them to be on, once I've done that, then what I do, and this book is 16 sheets, 32 pages. So when you do a digitally designed book, you have to buy the whole thing. You don't just pick per page. You can't say, I just want pages 1 through 5. You have to buy the whole book. Now, what you can do from here is you can, if you, let's say you only use the first 20 pages, you can make the last 20 blank. Or what you could do is plain white, or you can just go through and delete these boxes on these pages, and then they will just print out with the paper on them, and you could add your own memorabilia to this. Like you could add your maps, you could add then buy some tape from me and stick your tickets to this page, or buy the little mounting corners and stick on your postcards or your, so you can still print them, but you would just maybe take off the boxes so that you could use them, or you can make them plain white. And so the bottom line is you get 32 pages, 16 sheets, 32 pages, and then you and then it'll come in the book for you. And then if we go, the only thing we haven't done, we can go back to the cover. Oh, I didn't show you how to move things around. There's this whole reorganization function that, like, we don't have to scroll through all the pictures like that. We can just click down here. Okay. And then I can come over here back to my photos, and I can grab whatever picture I want. And then I can put my border on. Oops, no, not that one. That's not good. Oh, that's because I didn't click. I got to click on the picture so that the digital designer knows what I'm trying to do. So here I clicked on that. There's something there. Delete. And now some things like this, if I don't like this leaf, I can delete it. And then it has a text box set up for me already. So I can write Italy 2023, and then I can go, oh my goodness, that is way too small. So I click on the text box, and then remember I used Peralta, and then I can make it bold, and I can make it bigger. And then I can also move it around. I can move it around. I can put it on the top. I could add a picture to this back page too if I wanted. I could click on this picture, copy it, paste it, and then move it to the back, and then put a different picture on the back of my cover. And that is really fun too. It's fun to customize your covers. And then you can add whatever you want to add here, Italy 2023. And the other thing I could do is I could go into my elements, and I could add some of these elements to the cover if I want to.
So this is the book that you can take the pages and move them around once you
Yes.
do it.
Yes.
So like the blank
Yes.
pages, you could then put your airline tickets up by the beginning of the book on an empty page and stuff like that. This is
Yes.
awesome.
Yes, it's super simple. I mean, especially once you've done it a little bit, but like I said, those directions that I gave in the link in the chat, those are the steps to get in, and they're also what all of these icons mean, to remind you what all of these icons mean. And so Elaine said this was a game changer for her to be able to do 3 years worth of photos. And the nice thing is it comes with me, so that if somebody is working on this book, so Paula, let's say you're working on a book and you're like, wait a minute, how do I move this around, or how do I change this, or what do I do here? And then you would email me. We would jump on a Zoom call just like this, and we'd scroll through your book, and I would say, oh, look at this, Paula, you have this picture a little bit too close to the top, and it's not gonna print onto the page right. So, and then I would give her pointers, and so she had me to ask questions of, and then we'd go over it together to make sure that it looks good and that there was nothing egregious, no big errors. And then we'd save it, and then we hit add to the cart. But this is telling me, wait a minute, Eileen, if you really want to add this to the cart, you got a lot of empty pages. So you wouldn't you know, I'm not ready to print this, but if I were, I would go add to cart. And then I would log in because it does, you can keep working, but I think of like every 30 or 45 minutes, it kind of logs you out of the Creative Memories website, but you can keep working and it'll keep saving, but it just kind of takes you off so that you're not, you know, that the website doesn't get too crowded and too busy or whatever. But I have to log in and then the sign in, and then what I do is I add it to my cart, and oh, here it is, edit, go back to my book. But it still saves everything that I was working on because see, we just added this towards the end, it's still there. And then if I hit save, then add to cart. All right, I guess it doesn't. All right, so then I hit add to cart, and then it should take me to this intermediate area. It's not quite my cart yet, but it says, okay, Eileen, you can, from this place, you can go back to edit, or you can add to your cart. So this is kind of limbo right now. And then I go, oh, wait, I forgot, da, 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 da. So I can click this and go back to edit, or I could go, you know what, I'm all done. Then I click add to cart. So it's a two-step process when you're ready to do it. And then now it's in my cart. It's down here, custom album refill. It's in my cart. If I wanted to, and now I get free stuff because I'm ordering this. Anyway, okay. So then what I can do if, let's say I'm at this part and I'm still not ready to order it, I can delete it from my cart. It does not delete it from the website. It's still on the website, but it takes it out of my cart, because if it's in my cart, I can't edit it anymore because the Creative Memory says it's in your cart. If you, okay, all right, thank you. Thank you. It's good to know I have these free things I could get. If it is in your cart, you cannot edit it, because it thinks you're ready to buy it. So you have to, in order to go back and edit it again and change your mind, you have to take it out of your cart. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And then when you take it out of your cart, then I can go back to my custom products. And here it is again to edit. I can edit it. I can delete it. The nice thing about making this kind of book is you can duplicate it. If you do that, cut and paste scrapbook, you can duplicate that too, but it's a lot more work to duplicate it to make 2 at a time. But let's say I go on this vacation and there were 2 other couples. I can make them copies of this book by ordering multiple copies, or I can make mine, then I can duplicate it, and then I can go back into the duplicate and take some pictures out of us and put some pictures in of my friend and her husband, and then I can order that book. So in that respect, it makes it it's a lot nicer too.
That would be cool, because you would have some same stuff, but some different stuff. That's
right.
Awesome.
And you don't have to recreate the wheel to do that.
Yes.
So that's really nice. Actually, I made a book for my my cousin's wife, and my cousin had passed away. And then so we made the book for her, and then she goes, I want to give the book to my husband's dad. So we went back, we duplicated the book, we went in, and then we changed some words to make it specific to the person who was receiving it. And then she goes, I want to give it to our son. So then we went back in, we took some things out, added some things in, and then printed it for him. So it's a really easy way to replicate your book too, and you don't have to do a lot of extra work.
So I'm noticing, like, here you have this Kathy Hall bridal shower. The only one you got is duplicate. So I'm assuming that one's been bought, and that's the only one you can duplicate. Yes,
that's correct. So that one, I can't edit it because it's already been printed, right? I can't. But I can click duplicate, and I can make some changes to it.
Awesome.
Yes. I think I've covered everything related to, all right, I'll go back. We'll go back. But I think I've covered everything. Well, now I'm in the edit mode, so I could go back here. But that everything, oh no, I just remembered one more thing. I don't know if people still want to stay on to hear it, but this is one last thing I'll tell you. And this is about, let's say you're doing this and you're like, wait a minute. I want this page to go over here and I want that page. They're in the wrong order. Oops. Well, so what you can do to fix that. Oh, Rhonda raised her hand. Okay. Okay. Yes. Rhonda, do you have a question you want to ask?
No, continue with what, and
Okay,
I'll ask
okay.
it in a minute.
Okay, sure. Okay, so here we are back in the designer, and now I'm like, wait a minute, and I gotta move this out of the way for me. And then I go, whoa, all right, these 2 pages I want to move. So I click reorganize, and then I can take this book, this page, and move it there. So now I just flip these 2 pages. Okay, so now this is the left facing page and this is the right. Or I can go, wait a minute, I want to put this on the title page. So I just clicked on it and I drug it over here.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's super simple. Or then you go, wait, there's some stuff that goes in between here. So I'm going to put that page here and that page here. And now I've just moved everything over. See, so I just, and then remember, you don't have to keep these pages. You can click on this page. Oh, we have to do something to get out of here. What do? We go to, all right, spread view down here. Because right now it's showing us our whole book and all of our spreads and what they look like. But if we go back down to this bottom part, spread view, can you see it?
Yes.
Then when you click on it, then that takes us back to looking at the 2-page spread. Okay. So then we can, so we can either now we can work on this page where it's at. But if we decide, all right, so we're here because we want to change the background maybe, then we can come to background. Okay, Rhonda, you had a question. Let's hear your question.
Yes, is the book a standard size? And the binding, is there just one type of binding?
Yes, it's a standard size. It's 12 by 12. Here, I'll stop sharing for a second so I can show you. Yes, it's a standard size. These books, this digitally designed is 12 by 12, 12 by 12 book with 12 by 12 pages. And these are Creative Memories Flex Hinge binding bind. They're bound this way. So, and they can be open from the back and unhinged, strapped, and you can move the pages around in the books too, if you want.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a really good system. It was, it's nice because we call it flex hinge, but it's a lay flat binding of this book. Are there other questions? No, I think we did come out with 8x8 digitally designed paper albums. So if somebody wanted to do an 8x8 book, or it's a paper album, I haven't done too many of those, but those are less expensive because they're smaller and they're paper. But it's the same concept that you add you drag and drop your pictures onto your digitally designed palette, and Creative Memories prints the picture and the decorations right on the pages, and then you can give those as gifts. I need to do more research on those though, because I haven't used them yet, but it is a newer offering of that we have, that Creative Memories has. Okay.
I think that
Yes.
would be I have an 8-year-old grandchild, and I was thinking of making a smaller book that he can handle in his bedroom, to flip through. And
sure.
maybe the 8x8 would be better for him.
Might be better. Okay, well, let's take a peek and let's see what I can find out from here. I know it's a newer offering. All right, let's see. If we go to, all right, I gotta move this out of the way. It's hard because you have a lot. I have a lot going on here with Zoom. All right, so if I go up to, let's see, back to the home page of Creative Memories here, and then I go back to digital shop. I'm going to move this out of the way. Shop digital. Let's look and see what we got. Because we're doing more and more of those. Okay. And then we go, okay, here's digital. All right, we have, all right, that's that promo of the free stuff they keep trying to give me. All right, shipping 8x8 custom paper albums. Here they are. So those, so instead of a $120 book, which is the one we were just designing, we could do an 8x8 paper album for your grandson. And that would be easier for him to hold. And if something happened to it, wouldn't be the end of the world because it's a $10 item. All right, so we click there, we click, yes, I have permission to use these pictures. And same thing, there's probably a view, or that's frequently asked questions. And this is our printing schedule, because just because you order these doesn't mean they print them right away. They do a print every other week. And it takes about a week to print them, and then it ships depending on how fast you print shipping, how fast you indicate you want it shipped. And then it can be pretty fast if you want, or it can be, you can pay less for shipping and it can be slower. So this is a way to see when things are shipped. Here's a place to ask more questions, but let's play with this a little bit since she asked. Okay, so this is Rhonda's test book. Okay, all right, and we hit continue. Okay, and now these are our options. So we can do a blank one where there's no themes. We can do birthday themes every day. So let's say, what do you think of, what would you do, Rhonda, for your grandson? Does anything of these
How
look
about
like
super duper boy?
boy? Okay, oops, I forgot to. I should have hit the select button, but it looks like this is good. It works. Okay, so this is, so on the first, see it says front. This is the front cover of the paper album, and this is the back cover of the paper album. So that's what's on the very front. So then what you would do from here is you would go into upload photos and you'd bring some photos in into it. Let's see, we're gonna look at my past photos and then recent uploads. So so it saves those. So remember, we're in a totally different project, but I hit recent uploads and it has the pictures that we were working with before. So on this page, we could see it has the blue line, that's the cover. So we could do this, and then it gives us a place to put a picture. We clicked that one. All right, this is not really kitty. But it's cute. Okay.
I want to see the food one. Put the food one on the back. I want to see what that is.
Oh, the food one, the food picture? Okay, sure. Okay, so if we go here, so we can drag and drop. We can drag and drop. You don't always have to go to the layout and make a spot. You can drag and drop. So this is tortellini. And there's a little story behind the tortellini. When we got to Rome from London, our bags didn't make it. So we went to we tell them that our bags were not there. And they said, well, your bags will come on the next plane. So they'll be here in 2 hours. So we could either send them to you and try to follow you, or you can wait and pick up your bags. So we went upstairs and ate. So that's what this is. Okay, so that's the food. It's tortellini. It was really good. And now all the same things apply to this little paper album. And it's only $10 plus shipping. Okay, so then plus shipping and tax wherever you're living. All right, now this one, so this is off the page. Okay, good question. Now that's a great question. And since I haven't used these, we're about to find out. Okay, so down here, it is, because it is a new product. It's a newer product. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it has it numbered. Oh, I see. Because this is the inside of page 1, it looks like down here when we're looking down here. But there should be no reason why you couldn't put anything there. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 inside pages, and then a front cover and a back cover. So that's really 12 pages.
That's exactly what I need because I want to make books for him.
Okay. Well, these are little paper books. I might have one in the back that it hasn't been digitally designed, but it's so and I mean it's nice paper. We have great quality paper, and then the nice thing is that it'll be smaller for him to handle, and it won't be heavy. And that's another thing about these digitally designed books, whether they're these paper ones or these 12 by 12 ones, is that when you pick them up, they're not heavy. But if you had taken this book and added the paper, the photos, the embellishments, the tape, all of it. So my other books that I've made, which I love, they're beautiful, but they're a lot heavier because they have, like, here's one, because it's a lot heavier because the stuff that's in, there's pictures taped and paper taped and a lot of other things inside. So these can get pretty heavy. And, I made a pocket for other, to put.
I love this. I love this product.
Oh, good. Well, it's well made. This company's been in business since the 80s, and I've been working with them since 2002 for 20 years. So it's a wonderful company, and I use their products when I do my own personal albums. As you can see, all these albums I'm showing you are my personal albums, and when I do albums for clients. So it's wonderful. But I'm happy to. Okay, so any other questions, and then I'll show you the last page and how you can reach me. But these 8x8 books would be really fun and easy to do and not too overwhelming. And you have me if you have questions on how to do this.
A good start, like do a little one and see how you like it. And yeah, it would be a good starting one, I think.
I think so too. And you're not in for very much money. $10 is not, too much money to start and see how you like it and how it comes out. What I should do, thank you for saying, is I should make one of these so I have them to show people.
Yes.
Yes, because I haven't done that yet. So now, because it's like I said, it's a new product. So I haven't used it. And we're coming out with new designs all of the time. So I'm going to just take a picture here. All right, so there's that. And then what was I going to do, Paula?
You were going to show us your website and everything again.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Okay. Phew. Yes. All right. And I'm happy to answer questions. So let's go. I'm going to share the screen again. And it's just the last page in my PowerPoint. And then so I can let you all go. So this is from my website. And this is how I do my traditional albums. I do this system called Power Layout, where you lay out these plastic guides or paper guides on a table, and you deal out your pictures, your physical pictures like photos, and like cards, and you pre-plan your albums. So that's quick and easy too. So anyway, so thank you very much for having me today and listening to me. My name's Eileen Vieira. You can find me at Eileen@memorybooksbyeileen.com, and you can find me at memorybooksby, or that's my email. So feel free to email me if you have questions about any of these products. And then if you go to memorybooksbyeileen.com, that's my website. And at the top of my website, it all right, I'm going to show you that too. Okay, stop share. It shows you, we went in there to shop, and then I have events. I have all kinds of events and retreats I take people on. And all of my workshops that I do are, they are via Zoom too. So you don't have to live in Bellevue, Washington to, wait, I'm looking for my website. Oh, here we are. Duh. All right, let's see. Sorry. My website, here we go. Air sound optimized. So memorybooksbyeileen.com. And then I have events. you can go to my events and check out what different events I hold. And like I said, almost all of them are via Zoom. And I have videos on here that show you what I do and where I do it and when I do it. And everything has an online and a virtual, and an in-person. Like some of my classes are only online, but all my workshops and crops where people come and work, they could be on. Like today I'm having one and it's starting a little bit later, but today I have a Saturday workshop, and so I have people coming in person, and then I have people, I don't have anybody coming online this time, but this month, but you can click online and join online. So
Excuse me,
yes,
Eileen,
yes,
I have
yeah.
a question. And
yes.
this is very new to me, so this is a very silly question. So the final product is an album, you're gonna mail it to me?
Creative Memories would mail it to you. Of
Okay.
these digitally designed ones that I showed you about, that's when you do them for you. You know, you're doing it yourself using this, using the Creative Memories website.
Mhm.
So then Creative Memories will print your pictures and the paper on the pages and put it together and mail it to you. Now, what I do is on my website, sometimes people hire me to do this for them. I have clients across the country that hire me to do this for them.
Sure.
And then it would be coming from me after it came to me from Creative Memories.
So you are going to print out the photos, right? And then insert into the album. Is that, or how? What's the printout?
That you get from this digitally designed thing that we just did. Okay. So, then I'll show you that. All right. So what, if the book that we were creating, it would come, it would get printed, hard copy like this, and with the pages would get printed. The only things that are not included are the plastic covers. You have to order those separately and then put them on yourself.
You can take out the photos, quote unquote.
Well, not in this one. Yeah, not in this one. Remember, on the one that we did today is digitally designed. So the photos are printed right on the page. So you can't take anything out if you do it this way. They're on the page. They're printed right on the page. So you said there's nothing I can take out at all. This whole book is all pages that are where the pictures and the words and everything are printed right on, and the decorations are all printed right on the page. So there's no taking this out.
Okay, so
This
the
is
quality is okay. The quality of the pictures.
Yes, it's great. Unless you give it a low resolution picture, then it won't be great. But if you give it a good resolution picture, it'll give you a good resolution page.
What if my photos are very old and also grayish and I got it 30 years ago and in Africa. So
well, if you were coming to me as a client to do a book for you, you would send me those pictures. I have a software program that I use called Historian, and I could scan them into there and try to run them through a quick photo editing program that could make the colors a little brighter and darker.
Excellent. Yes.
Yeah. So that can be done. I don't do that all the time, full time, but I do have some ability to do some of that.
Okay. That's good to know.
Okay. Yeah, it is. It's a good feature to have, and it's a good, and that's through the other company that I represent. That is the digital company that I represent that I was telling you about. So if you go back to my website and we go shop and we go to digital photos. That company is called Forever, and they have a program called Historian that you put on a PC, and that's for photo organization, but it's also for photo editing. So that kind of thing. So that's what I use because it's pretty simple. And sometimes I might play a little bit with the brightness and the contrast to see if I can make it better. Usually you can, but not necessarily always. So that's my do-it-yourself button, the shop.
Okay, I certainly need your help.
Okay, then what you should do, then what people should do if they need my help is they should go to my website where I just was. I keep bouncing around. I'm sorry.
Can you put a link for it in the chat so that
that's a
they
great.
can click on it? Yeah, there you go.
That's a great. Well, this is the page, but I will definitely put the link in the chat. And this is so my website, and then you can book a consult. What people do is they go to my website. Usually, what happens? Memory Books by Eileen.com. What people do is they usually Google me when they need some scrapbooking help. And then they go to my website. And then on my website, there's a button that says book a consult. And on that, with that button, they can book a consult it's a 1 hour free consult, and we can talk about your project, and we can, here's where I was before. We can talk about your project, and so here's what it looks like. Book a consult. Okay. Oh, there we go. Book a consult. We can talk about it puts an appointment on my calendar, and you can choose a phone consult, a Zoom consult, or in-person consult. And remember, I'm in Bellevue, Washington, which is in the upper left-hand corner of the United States. So you could book a consult and we could talk about your project. We could talk about what it entails. We can talk about my packages that I offer and the time frame and when I could do it for you. Or if you could, I had a client the other day who booked a consult. It was a local person. It was a young man who started a scrapbook for his fiance, and he didn't like it, what he had done. It was a pocket slide in one. So he came to me and he said, I'm not sure if I want you to do this or if I still want to do this. So he came into my studio and we looked at it, and we pulled out some products, and I said, this is how much it's going to cost. And he said, okay. He said, I think I would like to do it myself. So he bought the products from me, and then he came back the next day to my coffee crop workshop, and he put the pictures in the album, and away he went. And he was done by the end of the day. So he worked fast. He knew what he liked. I showed him that this power layout system way of laying out your book, and he finished it in the 4 hours he was in my workshop. Yeah, but see, that was someone he wasn't sure if he wanted to hire me or do it himself. And as he came into we figured it out together, and that's what he did. And then he told me the other day that he gave it to her for their anniversary, and she loved it. So I can help you. I can do it for you. I can help you do it for yourself by providing products and workshops and help.
Awesome. That's
Okay.
great. Yes. Thank you
you.
so much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Okay, so I think we're done for today. Okay. All right, Paula. Thank you for having me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So it's memorybooksbyeileen.com. And then also through here, if maybe you don't want to book a consult, but you want to go onto my Facebook page to learn about the events I have or ask me questions, you could join on my Facebook page, or you could sign up for my newsletter here. So that's all on my website. So that's ways to get a hold of me. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right.
Thank you, everybody, for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Hi, goodbye.
if you would like to see other videos of other stuff we've done, please check out our Atlantic Institute SC YouTube channel. There's over 170 videos, and they're broke down by different categories. So it looks daunting, but I don't really think it is. Elaine, do you think it's daunting to look at our?
No, I don't think it's daunting. I watched a couple other the classes, and they were really interesting. It wasn't daunting.
Yes. There's all sorts of stuff between our 3 different categories that we do stuff. We do stuff educational, cultural, or interfaith. So there's something out there for everyone. We have a website, Atlantic Institute SC. If you go out and find that, there's other programs we do, or if you found us on Eventbrite, we have all sorts of events. I have events out there for even for next May. So, and the one I really want to promote is I am doing a cultural trivia on the country of Turkey next week. We're just asking for a donation because we have 3 prizes we're giving away: a $100 gift card for Amazon, a $75 gift card for Amazon, and a $50 gift card for Amazon. So please check that out and sign up if you're interested. And I'll let you in on a little secret because you're all here. I went on Google to find all the answers. So, and the more strange they were, they went on my my trivia stuff. So yeah, go out to the look for Turkey and fascinating facts or something like that, and you will find some of my answers, I'm quite sure. So please check us out. Please join any of our events. If you know teenagers, we have life skills for teens classes we do, and next Saturday there's one on how to say no, like just how to say no. And we have a author that's put out a book along those lines doing that. And also next Saturday is our cuisine of different cultures. And we are making, I don't remember what we're making, I apologize, but check it out because it will be interesting. Thank you, everybody, and have a great day.
Thank you.
I'm going to stop the recording.
Yeah, thank you.
now.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.